Hi.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Dee Dee from Dee Dee's Fin Den. And along with my co host, Annette of Mystery Snail Guardians and Jenna P 2005, we would like to welcome you to the 14th Aquarium Hall giveaway hosted by Fishfam.link. Now, this series of live streams was created to provide an opportunity for the community to sponsor their aquarium based businesses or for others to sponsor an aquarium based business of their choosing. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'll kind of tell you how this works. What's going to happen? Someone decides they want to sponsor, or an owner wants to sponsor. They contact Fishfam link at hello@fishfam.link, and then they will do whatever it takes to get this aquarium hall giveaway set up. Now, once that's done, either the owner can shop, or he can pick somebody to shop, or he can say, "Hey, y'all pick somebody to shop." And so then a guest shopper may be shopping for that person. And what's going to happen? They're going to go through the website while this live stream is live, select items, put them in a cart, and at some point during the live stream, a lucky winner in chat is going to win what's ever in that cart. Now, based on where you live, there could be some restrictions, and you must be 18 in order to win. So after this, I'm going to turn it over to Jenna P so she can introduce our sponsor, our guest shopper, or whatever we have.
Yeah. We have both. We have a sponsor. The sponsor is Mystery Snail Guardians, who is the social media coordinator. She has a second title. I just noticed.
How'd I get that?
Huh. Congratulations on the promotion.
Dee Dee is owner of the Fin Den.
Yeah. It's all mine.
So anyway, Annette, what did you sponsor for us?
I sponsored $100 for shopping in the Clash. It can be used either on a full weekend registration if you're planning on attending the Clash. If you've already got your registration, you can also sponsor something instead of getting a full registration. If you're not going to be attending, you can still sponsor something under your name.
And our guest shopper is TJ Autocross, aka Todd. So, hey. Annette, why did you want Todd to be the shopper?
Because he sponsors the Clash like no other. And I've met him 2 years now at the Clash. He lets me boss him around. He's a hard worker, and he really supports the Clash. So, plus I really wanted to live stream with him. So this was my excuse.
Hey, it works.
Wow. I feel very unworthy. That's very nice words.
So, Todd, did you want to tell us about yourself in case people here don't know who you are?
Yeah. So I go under the name TJ Autocross. I do not consider myself to be a YouTuber. I do have a channel that you would find under my name, but it's really just something that I put out there to share some of my racing videos that I've done for the last, I guess it's 11 years this year. And I have been to the Clash for this will be my third year, as Annette said. So it's just a great event that I really enjoy. And I am really excited to be able to share with everybody all of the amazing possibilities that there are for sponsoring the event.
So I know you didn't say that you said that you're not a YouTuber, but a little bit of promotion. You do stream regularly on Thursday nights, right?
I do. That is true. Yeah. So at the Clash last year, I did meet Vibes, and actually just happened to walk into the YouTube studio while he was live, and he was like, "Oh, come on in." And I sat down at kind of the little table behind the cameras, and he's like, "No, like, come on over." And so I just sort of happened into that stream, and myself and him and Mariah, who had been his co-host for a long time, we both had, all three of us had a great time. And so we decided to try it out regularly. And so Thursday nights we stream on his channel at 8 o'clock Eastern. So before Chattanooga Ed usually goes live, and that's a great time. I really enjoy it. We usually cover a topic of the week, so could be, you know, a top 5 list for each of us, something that we like about the hobby or a particular type of issue. So it's yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay,
That's
before
awesome.
we get into like shopping for the Clash, we added an intro video. Did you want to? You think now is a good time to play it, Annette, to just kind of let people know what the Clash is?
Let's do it.
Okay.
That was nice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
tell you,
gonna-
seeing the video with all of that from last year, it brings back so much fun that we've all had the last couple of years, and I'm really looking forward to this year again.
It was. That was my first, and I did get to meet Todd, and he was the first person I saw wearing one of my shirts other than my husband. And it took me a second to realize what I was looking at. So
Yes, me.
Yeah,
it was a shock.
So we're gonna go ahead to Fishfam.link and type in Keystone Clash 2024. You can see it has the details right here. This event starts on Friday, October 4th. It's happening in 174 days in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. And that video is also up here at the top. October 4th through 6th at the Holiday Inn Convention Center. And I mean, we can first talk about, I guess, what you get in your registration in case people want to choose that option. Because
yeah, we might
a
as
full
well
package
start there.
is $100, and it's for the whole weekend, which gives you access to the vendor room, access to the speaker talks, access to the award ceremony, an auction bidder card, a goodie bag, access to the hospitality room. This year there are 2 hospitality rooms, a daytime hospitality room that's just going to have like snacks and water, refreshments and stuff. And then a nighttime hospitality room that's adult only and has alcohol. And then you also get a shirt. And if you are a fish tuber, you can get the fish tuber package and get access to the streaming area. The speakers, there are 9 speakers this year, right? So we have Rebecca Bentley, that is freshwater ichthyology. Jessica Bullock, Dr. Anton Lambage, Mo Devlin, Grant Eater from the Garden of Eder, and Shelby Kay from also the Garden of Eder, Steve Bitter, and Chris Meckley, and Lily Wang from Lily Ichthyology.
Yeah, I think that
Nice
just
lineup.
It is, and I think it just illustrates when you go through the package, just all the different things that are available
Yeah, I
and all the
believe there's
different
a
activities.
yeah, I believe there's a total of 16 different talks that you
Mhm.
can have the opportunity to go and watch from all of those 9 speakers.
Yeah, and the range of topics I think is really impressive, and every year it's different. So I think every year you go, you get to learn completely different parts of the hobby. Mo, I think, is going to talk about taking pictures of photography and
Yes.
fish, and just all sorts of different things, and that doesn't even count all of the other activities that are there. So I just really like the fact that every year there's little changes and things that are done different, and it makes it a slightly different experience all the time.
And I know she said wanna, not Rabba, but Rebecca Bentley is a speaker I want to go for, honestly. I love Lily and the Eaters, but they're pretty local, relatively speaking. Could be your only chance to see Rebecca. Yeah, so Rebecca is from the UK. We also have Jessica Bullock is traveling from Canada, and Dr. Anton Lambage is coming from Austria. So there are 3 international speakers. And I think Chris Meckley is also a saltwater speaker. So if you're interested in saltwater and reefing, it's an opportunity to get a talk on that. So,
Yes.
and then I saw this. I wanted to briefly bring this up. So a few weeks ago when we did our March stream, we said that Tips in the Tip Jar would be going towards in Myrtle's name for something. I contacted his parents. They responded back this week that they would like those proceeds to go to his high school music program in his name as a donation to his name, and that they would get me details. They sent me the details yesterday. So we figured since we had this stream coming up, we're going to add to it. So anything else that goes in the tip jar today will be added to that. And then on Monday, we'll be sending out that check to his high school in his
No,
name.
that's great. I have very fond memories of being involved in the music programs when I was in high school, and they just do so much. I think for the students that are involved and give you so many opportunities to be involved in different types of band or orchestra, and so I'm glad that we're able to help his high school with that, because it's really important to the students.
Yes. So, okay, now we are on the sponsor page, and we'll look at the become a sponsor, because these are the things that you can purchase. Also want to bring up that it is the month of April, and so if you sponsor show classes, if you choose to sponsor show classes, anyone, even if you don't win this month, you get, what is it, 5 raffle tickets per show class added to your,
Yep.
like just given to you for free for every show class.
Yep. When you check in.
When you check in. So if you're going to the event, you can use this raffle ticket promotion schedule. And if you're planning on sponsoring things anyway, you want to enter the raffle. Last year, we won an RODI unit from the raffle. Todd, did you win anything from a raffle?
I
In any
didn't
years?
win anything, but the items that were in that raffle were really cool. There was a couple of UNS tanks, so those really
Mhm.
nice low glass, the low lead glass, just really nice stuff that you had. There was some fish food packs and different things. So the fact that you're able to get some free entries for that stuff is, there's some serious value there. The other thing that I really want to emphasize is the fact that this is an event that is run by 2 clubs,
Yes.
right? So these are inherently nonprofit organizations that are solely put together for fish keepers in the York and the Lancaster areas of Pennsylvania. And they have created, what is this, maybe like the 7th or 8th year that they've done this,
It was
something
like
like
14th
that.
or 15th.
Is it that long?
It's set on the homepage. Look.
Okay. But in any event, they decided to create this event, and they bring in hundreds of people from all over the place. And I think this is just a really important thing, that if you've got the opportunity, whether you're a winner or you just happen to really like the event, I really want to emphasize that the dollars that you spend here really do make a difference, and they really do end up being part of how the clubs can afford to do these things, because it's not cheap. Anybody that's been there knows that it's an extremely high quality event. There's a lot that's provided to the people that end up going. Even if you think about just the hospitality rooms alone, the fact that it's there and it's available for some refreshments is just wonderful. So I'd really encourage anybody that's got the means to do it. Understand if you don't take this as any pressure, but if you do, I highly recommend that this is one way where you can really make a difference for these clubs. And if you're able to go to the event, you'll certainly see where your dollars are going.
And even if you can't go to the event, being able to sponsor something is supporting the event. And I know, Todd, you mentioned it's run by the Cichlid Club of York and Aquarium Club of Lancaster County, and no money goes to any people. It all goes to cover the cost of the event and to the clubs. So no one is profiting off of this event except for the clubs. And like you said, they use it. The clubs bring in speakers. They do like swaps, all sorts of other things locally that this money can be used for.
Yeah.
It's a great way to support those clubs.
That's exactly right, Jenna. That's why I'm such a fan of this, is just the service that they provide to the communities where they are, and then this event is just great. So I can't say enough good things about it.
And Laura made a good point. Even if you can't afford the big talks and all-inclusive stuff, people can still come and see the fish show and vendor room. The fish show and to see the aquascaping contest, that is free, I believe. And to go into the vendor room, it's $5. So if you just want to go see that stuff and you don't care about getting a goodie bag, or you only have one day, or you just have a few hours that you want to go and see, $5 is not a lot.
No. And we had a whole bunch of people last year that did that. I remember I sat at the registration table one of the mornings with Tara and Blake, and there was a whole bunch of different people that came in just for that specific purpose, right? Because the vendors also that they bring in are another big benefit. You've got people from our community like Shelby and Grant and the Farrells and others, but you've also got other people that come in with all sorts of different things that they're selling, be it fish or dry goods or scaping or plants. So it's really good.
Yes.
And there's a lot of vendors too. So
that room is huge. Yeah.
Yes.
There's like 70 something vendor spaces, and some vendors get more than one, but I think there were over 50 vendors last year.
Yeah.
So did you find out what year it was, Annette? You said it was on the homepage.
Yeah. So I just clicked off of it. So it's the 7th year as Keystone Clash. It's 9 years if you count when it was before 2014 and 2015, and it was under a different name.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So long running, no matter how you look at it, especially for something that, it's not a corporation. This is run by volunteers completely that are parts of these clubs. And our group, right, the Fish Fam, tends to have a lot of volunteers. So if you are going and you want to volunteer, I think Scotty at some point will put out some notice on Facebook and other platforms. So don't forget that there's a ton of setup and a ton of teardown that gets done. So I'll put a plug in there to say, if you're able and you're there early, like I'll probably get to the hotel Wednesday night. So, certainly be able to help set things up on Thursday and, tear down on Sunday. I'd really think it would be really nice and people would appreciate it if you've got the time to sign up and help us do some of that stuff.
And, the more people who help, the less work it actually is. We, on Sunday, I know there were several of us after, the last little bit of the auction was going on, and there were like 10, 12 of us who went in there and deconstructed the whole vendor room and broke it down in maybe like half an hour. It didn't take long at all because there are so many people willing to help.
Yep.
It was fun.
It was. And I think the alternative, right, was that the folks that were running the auction were going to have been up on their feet all day running the auction, and then they were going to have to tear that down. I mean, at some point, it just seemed like the right thing to do while we were all just kind of hanging around, and it didn't stop us from talking and having a good time. So, that I think that also speaks to the fact that that's this kind of an event, right? It's really a very friendly family type of atmosphere. So again, I can't say enough good things about it.
So Todd, what have you sponsored? Like, I think you've sponsored something already.
So I have sponsored, last year I sponsored the hospitality room.
Okay.
After a conversation with Scotty, since he's a local guy and I'm a local guy, so we've become friendly, and just understanding from the year prior, before I think I really realized that there were sponsors that they offer this as an option. This year I actually have not become a sponsor yet, but I will. It's just one of the things that I just haven't quite decided what of the many things, which tonight's stream is going to help me figure out all the different possibilities of where I can help support the event. So I certainly will be sponsoring some things again, because again, I just think it's a great event, and I'm happy to do what I can to make it possible.
So the hospitality room, that is, last year it was only open in the evening. This year there's going to be 2. It is a place where you can kind of get away if you need to. But also, especially in the evening, people are just in there talking and enjoying, like, being together and socializing. It's
playing games.
Like, best chance to socialize with people. So but it costs money to have food and drinks and alcohol in there. So that helps cover those costs.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to necessarily get into the financials, but just understand that a $100 hospitality room sponsorship, you're not sponsoring the whole room, right? It takes many multiples of that to end up providing the amount of food and beverage that they provide throughout the weekend. So, I think that that's one, again, where you will see the benefits of that when you end up going and using it yourself, or you will know that you took great care of your friends if you couldn't be there. So I am a personal fan of that one. I think in this case, we've got $100. So that's definitely an option that we could use. But that would use up kind of our full amount that we've got here to go. So I think there's lots of other choices of how we can kind of spread our money around here.
So did we want to look at the thing that is not the full $100 is show classes?
Yeah.
And these are, so the Keystone Clash is one of the largest all species fish shows in the country. I believe it's the largest hobbyist run fish show. And sponsoring these classes helps cover the cost of, there are awards that are given out, there are prizes. So that kind of helps cover that. And there are also costs associated with the fish show, racks, tanks, like providing bubblers, air tubing, all of that stuff. Some of it can be reused, but sometimes there needs to be more that's provided. It's ever expanding, and we can't say, or the Clash can't say, we have too many fish in the fish show, because they want it to grow.
Yeah, and I was involved in the setup of the show area last year, and the number of times that Mike had to go out to the hardware store to get something because maybe we didn't have all the hardware we needed, or just the amount of items that it takes to put that together. I think when you see it put together, it looks very simple, but there's a lot that ends up going into that, and so between that and then, like Jenna said, the awards that people actually take home, this is something that the club is spending money to make happen. So I think it is a great one to also look at, and it's in this way you could maybe sponsor a class. I mean, I think anybody who's watched me stream with Vibes, that the Tanganikans are one of my favorite fish, and there is a Tanganikan class, so I probably would select that. It's right there, Jenna 13.
Yeah, right there. So, and Graham asked, wait, I can sponsor the discus show? Yes, you don't have to go to the event. Anyone can sponsor the show, and they will announce the sponsors at the event, whether you're there or not.
Yeah, I think that's a nice touch, right? They always will say, show class 13 sponsored by whoever. So you get that little recognition. And I know people aren't doing it for the recognition, but it is a nice touch.
Yes. And it live updates. So it'll tell you, like, you could still get Tanganyikan cichlids, but you cannot get New World killifish because it's out of stock.
Right.
And you can sponsor it in your name. You can sponsor it on behalf of someone. That's only $50. So if you want to sponsor 2 things, you could sponsor 2 show classes with the $100 that you win.
Yeah. And you can see there still is plenty of choices. So if you're particularly like me, I like Tanganyikan fish, so that would be one that I would go for. You could also, if you happen to be someone who's a fan of bettas, you got the male betta class there, class 32, lots of choices. And again, I think it's just it goes back to all of the things that go into making this work. So really good. We got the shrimp, and there's even a saltwater class. I think for me though, I probably would pick the photography class 52, because I know my buddy Ed is likely to enter, and so I just I would like to help sponsor the class that he's going to enter some stuff in.
Laura said, hey, that's my snail.
Yeah, that's her
And that picture.
rabbit snail that got 2nd place last year.
Oh, wow.
And we tried to pull a lot of pictures from the actual fish show where we could. And I think we're going to work to get more pictures from the fish show. I believe that killifish can be mailed in if you're not going to the event. So if you are a killifish person, I believe the AKA allows you to send in killifish for the fish show.
Oh, so they'll receive the fish and make sure they get put into the whole tank appropriately and all that.
Yeah,
kind of
I
stuff.
believe the rule is that they don't get shipped back. They go into the auction, though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always, like, if you don't want to bring your fish back home, you can always enter fish and put them in the auction for profit for yourself or as a donation to the club.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice, right? It eliminates a lot of logistical challenges, and then again, you can offset your cost of the entry by selling them and getting a little bit back from the auction, or you can donate it right back to the club, which again, as we've said, right, this event is not cheap to put on, and I'm sure the club would certainly benefit by taking some of the profit there from being able to sell the killifish if you sent them in.
Looks like Aquarium Adventures just sponsored the discus class.
Nice.
Let's see
That's
if
great.
we refresh if it.
Which is now the Aquarium Adventure Show.
Cool. Thanks for doing that, Graham.
And that is a cool fish to sponsor.
Absolutely.
Yes. What with discus being the best fish, it seems like a steal that I got to sponsor the best fish.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah. I think one of the other
Let's see.
things that people could do if they wanted to kind of spread out their money, so they could do a couple of classes, but Jen, I think they can also become a friend level sponsor.
Yes.
And
so
that's
friend
also
level sponsor is
$50.
also $50.
And then that way the dollars aren't earmarked necessarily for anything, but again, there's expenses for all of the different parts of the event that get put on. And so I think that's another choice. And friend level sponsors, do they end up on the back of the shirt that I'm wearing that I can't read?
No, they do not.
No.
So
Metal level sponsors, so platinum,
Metal level.
gold, silver, or bronze.
Got it.
yes. So it says
Oh,
right here on top of it too. So friend level sponsors get recognition as a sponsor on social media. They'll also be in the brochure. And
Oh, okay. Like the program?
yes.
There comes
Yes,
the net
in the
back.
program. So, but metal level sponsors, those can be stacked. So if you bought $500 sponsorships, like if you did a hospitality room, a YouTube lounge sponsor, an aquascaping sponsorship, and 2 speakers, you've spent $500 and you will be a silver sponsor without having to just say, here's $500. So you can spread out your sponsorships that way.
Mm-hmm. And I think of the few of the folks in our community ended up being metal level sponsors of different types last year. So
Yes.
yeah, so I think just so many different choices. I think the other things, the YouTube lounge is another great benefit where people can submit to schedule time where they can go and stream live in an enclosed room. It's got the ability, if they wanted to bring like a screen in there, they certainly could do that. And it's set up, kind of a little bit out of the way. So that's another area where, again, the hotel has that room, but the Clash has to include it as part of the contract. So we do need to recover some of those expenses. I think the other thing, a lot of fun, I've never participated, but I've always watched, is the aquascaping competition.
Yes.
That I think that's usually what, Friday afternoon into the evening. And, that's just a great opportunity where, great opportunity where you can go and see the people that are working so hard. You've got Ed last year, he's attacking a rock and sending shards everywhere. So, and then you can see kind of what's in people's minds, how they're going to set up their tanks. Dee Dee, it sounds like you're in this year, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll get a chance
Yeah.
to hang out and watch you do what you do. So again, if you win this $100, or if you are also so inclined that you'd like to sponsor the event, that's another one where each of the people that are in the event, they're set up with a full aquarium. And that again is another expense that the club has to go through to make this happen. Really nice equipment, and in some cases the folks don't end up taking them home, so they end up putting them they raffle them off. Is that right, Jenna?
Yes. So, well, no, in the auction.
Oh, they put them in the auction.
Last year
Okay,
they put them in the auction. So in 2022, I believe that they did raffle off
okay.
the aquascaping tanks. And I think the first place winner, had a chance to take their tank if they won. But last year, everyone could take their tank home, and 2 people did not. So those went into the auction, and whoever won it in the auction got the whole setup, the whole tank, the filter, the light, all of the plants and hardscape and substrate that they put in there. So those things, sometimes some of it gets donated, some of it has to be purchased. So sponsoring the aquascaping competition kind of helps offset those costs. I know we have some rimless tanks this year going to the aquascapers. We have some plants and substrate and hardscape donated. Still looking for other things, and those things will be provided, like lights, heaters, filters. Those will be provided to anyone who's in the competition. So the sponsorships kind of help whatever can't be donated.
And last year there was only 12 spots. This year there's 15 aquascapers now.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, because it sells out.
And you will see all kinds of different setups too.
Oh yeah, everybody's got their own kind of aesthetic of how they want to set the tanks up and things like that. And I think people have probably seen some of the videos that people will do showing each of the different entrants. It's fun to see sort of the organized chaos that happens while people are organizing all of their tanks and deciding what they're going to put in and going through and making little changes over time. So, and the equipment is great stuff. Like the filter last year was an Oase, and I think it was one of the ones that had the heater inside. And yeah, so just if you're going to participate or potentially try to win one in the auction, it's a really nice setup that the club always ends up coming with every year.
Another thing that I wanted to mention about tanks is that if you are going, or if you're considering going and you have a child, they also do give a kid a tank, and it is a 10-gallon setup with fish that they provide to children. They get to come on Saturday. It's usually at like noon, and they get to build their tank and take it all home.
Yep. So you can sign your child up for that when you register your child under a kids pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's just another great event that they put on, right? I think, I started keeping fish when I was a kid, and it was because of a science teacher. And so I think at that age to capture kids' attention with fish, it takes, something like that to be introduced by, an adult in your life, a parent or whoever. And so I think it's a nice thing that they do every year to give kids that exposure to see what it could be like. And, who knows, when we're all old, it may be some of those kids that come back and they're running the event. So I think it's really another nice aspect of the whole weekend that they do.
And there are volunteers that help guide them. So they're not just like, here, shove your kid up there and they've got to figure out what to do. They're actually kind of helped along as far as what you need to do, what comes first, all that kind of stuff too. So they'll learn something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did see Aquarium Adventures ask if there's a women in fish keeping category or class. There's not, but if you know someone that wants to sponsor women in fish keeping, check out the speaker ladies. We got a good variety of women representation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's another area where you could spend your $100.
Mm-hmm. So, I see. What state is the club located? They're both located in Pennsylvania, but you don't have to be in Pennsylvania to be part of the club. I know I'm a member of ACLC, even though I live in Louisiana.
I'm a member.
Annette?
Yep. I'm a member for my second year now of ACLC from Washington. So,
and I joined after the class. After the class, I joined.
Yeah, no state restrictions.
Yes. Todd, are you a member of any club, whether it's these or another one?
So so we are very lucky that here in New Jersey that I am a member of the North Jersey Aquarium Society. I joined that club probably 3 years ago, something like that, when I got back into the hobby, and I was looking for another type of avenue to meet people that had a similar hobby and learn from. And again, I think that's another one of the reasons why I love events like the Clash, because the fish clubs are just great places to go. Usually people of all different experience levels, and the ACLC and the Cichlid Club of York are no exception to that, where you, you can know I've had an issue with some illness before, and the local club, that people are willing to help, and then they have the monthly meetings, and I think there's just all great things about it.
Yeah, one of the benefits of being a member of one of the 2 participating clubs is that if you don't want to do the full weekend registration, or you only have time to come in for a day, or you only want to go to the vendor room, the club members get in for free to the vendor room instead of having to pay the $5 vendor room fee.
Yeah.
And Laura said Lancaster, she's in outside Pittsburgh, 2.5 hours. So again, it's kind of a little bit further than I am, but not by much. So.
And Scotty said that Give a Kid a Tank happens no matter what. Even if they don't get tanks donated, they will buy them for the kids. So some of these sponsorships, like the cash sponsorships for platinum, gold, silver, bronze, that is what that money is going towards. And they also don't turn any kids away if they register. So they don't get like 5 tanks donated and say like only 5 children. So.
Yep.
I heard of a club that was tired of some braggart always winning their BAP, so they had a guy become a member and come in and bring BAP fish and steal that year's award.
That is commitment, that's for sure.
That's politics.
My gosh.
And then the other thing that is $100, there are show awards, and these are special awards. So there's Best Care Species, Keystone Club Challenge Award, Individual Challenge, People's Choice, Best Killifish, Best Cichlid, Reserve of Show, and Best of Show. And these are awards given. So they have first, second, third place for every category. But then these are these overarching awards that are given out.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more of a more special of an award, I guess you could say. The challenge to win is much higher when you think about like the People's Choice Award. I think Bree won that last year, right, with one of her Corys. And so that's the people that come to the event. They made a decision and decided that that was their favorite of all of them, and so she got a nice plaque and some recognition for having the fish that was the People's Choice Award. So yeah, again, another thing, I think the Keystone Challenge Club Award, again, it's a double club event, and the 2 clubs compete to see which club can end up having the most wins out of the fish show. And so then they, at the end of it, they announce which one of the clubs gets it, and then they got a plaque that they take home for that year, and kind of adds a little bit of a friendly rivalry to the 2 clubs that actually seem to work very, very well together. So it's kind of just a little fun thing that I think they do.
I think Best of Show last year went to, did it go to a White Cloud Mountain Minnow?
I do believe that, yeah. I didn't see it, but I feel like I missed out, because that's a serious for a little white cloud.
Yeah.
Well, they are pretty.
They are, yeah. And this one must have been the prettiest. So That's cool.
And there were some pretty fish there too. Lots of them I'd never seen before.
There was lots of neat stuff there, right? Lots of really interesting stuff, some beautiful angelfish and all sorts of stuff.
So it's John says it's not just the two clubs competing. All clubs can enter the competition.
Oh, interesting. Thanks for the clarification, John. I got to meet him last year.
So don't forget the best snail. What snail won best snail, Annette?
Malaysian trumpet snail.
Was it yours, Annette?
Shout. It was not.
Mm.
It was Crypt Keepers.
Ah, okay.
So we've gone over all of the things that you could do for $100 registration, all of the different types of sponsorships. We're going to go ahead and start this giveaway.
Wow, Jenna, this looks really easy what you're doing here.
And did he say hashtag clashy in it?
Yep, hashtag clashy.
So yes, if you stream and you want to do the giveaway, it is a free tool provided by Fishfam.link. You log in, you saw me do that. You click giveaway right here at the top and you just select your live stream that's live, pick your hashtag and click create. And there are already 2 people entered.
And look at that. So simple.
So we're going to give it a minute. Yes.
Psycho Plant Lady is asking,
So,
can you enter
even
the
if you're
challenge
registered
remotely?
already,
You need to go on site.
For like the fish
for
show?
the fish show.
I'm not sure what that was just the
You need
question.
some clarification on the question.
So if it's entering fish in the fish show, if it is killifish, I believe you can ship the fish to be entered, whether you are there or not. You could probably also send photography and art to the show if you will then want to enter it into the auction. If you are attending, you can enter anything that you bring, but they won't ship anything back. And I know as far as fish, the AKA was sponsoring or like allowing killifish to be entered. It was like a collaboration between the AKA and the Keystone Clash. So that's why that is the only type of fish. I guess if you had somebody who was going, you could send them with your fish.
So this is international, of course, right?
Yep.
Yes, because you can sponsor something even if you're not going. But this is an event and people have come from other countries before. Some of the speakers are coming from other countries. So yeah.
Yeah, last year Andreas Tanki came from Germany, I think it is where he's from.
Germany.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mike. Oh, and looks like he's going to go to the event.
So
Great.
Sarah asks, what is the hashtag for? It is for $100 to the Keystone Clash. So you can use this for a registration, or you could use it for up to $100 in sponsorship. So there are some sponsorships that are $100 and some that are $50. So you could do 2. Where can I find an accurate schedule? The website says September. It shouldn't
I just checked
say
it.
September.
It does not. It says October.
I posted the link to the schedule. All you do is click on the schedule tab on the website.
Yeah. And we can look at that. It says October 4th through 6th. This is the current schedule. So registration begins Thursday. Aquascaping actually starts early Friday this year, so they will have all day. I know people felt, or at least I was in the aquascaping competition 2 years ago, and only having like 6 hours feels like you need to spend 6 hours aquascaping that tank. And so during that time, you may miss speakers. So just giving people the option to have the whole day if they want to go and see a speaker or go check out the vendor room. They don't have to feel tied to that tank. And then we have speakers throughout the day. The vendor room opens at 10.
And there is a lot to do and go and see.
Yes. On Saturday, all of the fish have to be placed by 10 a.m. So best time to look at fish in the fish show is after 10 a.m. on Saturday, but you can watch them being placed in throughout the weekend.
Do we have any more spots open for aquascaping?
No. Aquascaping is filled right now.
But yeah, if you look at just the number of different things that are going on throughout the day, plus you've got the vendor room, which I don't know, I feel like I end up doing a lap around the vendor room multiple times a day just to see sort of what's out there and available. And then there's the time that's not necessarily what I would consider, like clash time, where we're hanging out, having a good time, the dinners and stuff like that happen. So, again, anybody who's able to make it, I would put it on your calendar and come. And if you've never met some of the folks in this group other than through the streams, I think being able to do that in person is a real exciting thing to do. So I'd encourage anybody to make the trip that can.
So Steven said that Lando is right. He said his still says September, even when he clicks the link in it posted.
I just clicked and it went to October.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Does that mean that Lando and Steven are in the past?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Are they looking at it on a phone? Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Lando, the last link that under Fishfam.link, try that one. It says schedule at the end.
Do I need to clear my cache or something? Maybe.
I posted a link.
Clicked and hers also says September.
I posted the link to the community tab of the schedule on YouTube.
October. And then if I click schedule, October.
Nathan said he's got a question, which I'm going to try and find. Does the winner need to choose what they are doing today, or can they look over? I guess that's a you guys question. I would assume that they can look it over.
Yeah, they can look it over.
There are some deadlines and stuff. So if you're look over sponsoring certain things, like the show class awards, they might not be there the longer you wait. Same with show classes. The longer you wait, you might not have the same ones later on. Someone might sponsor them. So if there's something specific you want, it's better to sponsor it sooner rather than later, so you don't risk missing out on sponsoring that.
Yeah. So we need to, it looks like on the phone, we need to maybe have Scotty talk to the website person and see if mobile hasn't been updated. Okay, we have 5 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and spin.
Good luck,
ready?
everybody.
I do want to bring up, I've seen some people use this giveaway and they go all the way over here for spin. You can actually just click the wheel.
Oh.
Sandy Dowdy, congratulations.
Congrats,
Let's make sure
Sandy.
that she is.
Yeah.
So before I click record winner and close, Sandy Dowdy, let us know if you are still here. I know
That's pretty nice.
Sandy was talking about maybe going last year and then she didn't go. So maybe she would like to use it for registration and come this year. Yes, I see that she is here.
And that is an option.
And
so that would be great.
yes. Before we close, we have one more small giveaway that we do, and that is we have a What the Fish magnet in the shape of a guppy and a Fishfam.link badge. This is an old one, but Fishfam.link badge. And so if you would like to enter to win a magnet and What the Fish badge, the hashtag is going to be hashtag FFL. Hashtag FFL to enter to win. Go ahead, Dee Dee.
You don't have to wear that at the thing, but it sure is nice to have it because you can get people to sub easy enough. You just shove that badge right in their face. They can click and go.
Yes.
You don't have to, but who wouldn't want to wear that? Right, Dee Dee?
That's right.
It's cool stuff.
Yes. They have all your links just right there.
And you can show off the magnet too, because who doesn't want a What the Fish magnet?
Yeah. There's over 200 fish.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And who knows, you may have even drawn one of them.
It's possible, Dee Dee. I do believe that I did spend an inordinate amount of time with the little board.
Yeah, I think you drew a gibbish shiner.
It was, and
you
it
drew
had like
something
all
in the
sorts
moon phases.
And it had all sorts of like the scales were very intricate. I did not really think that one through very well because I wanted to try and make it look reasonably okay. And so I sat at that booth for a pretty long time.
But yes, Stephen said, if you drew a fish at the Clash last year, it is on the magnet. While we're collecting entries for this last spin, I did also want to mention that not this time, but over the course of the next few months, Aquarium background tape sent Fishfam.link 40 packages of Aquarium background tape. And so we will be doing some giveaways on Fishfam.link, across other streams, perhaps, to kind of share these out. So just a quick promo for that.
And I'm going to ask a very silly question, Jenna.
Okay.
Is Aquarium background tape exactly as it sounds like it is? It is tape to use for an aquarium background, or am I missing something here?
Yes. No, it is tape that you use to affix an aquarium background to your aquarium.
I just wanted to make sure that the name was a real descriptor for what this was, and I wasn't missing out on something here that was totally different. Okay, got it. Good.
Well, the nice part about it is like
Okay.
you, whatever size background is, you put your outline with that tape and then put
Yep.
the background to it.
Mhm.
You don't have tape on the sides,
All over the place,
unraveling.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Well, it was nice of them to donate. Yeah,
Okay.
Keith used Scotch tape
Steven
in
said
the
it's
old days,
invisible.
and
I'm doing it now.
it's a good thing it's got a package, Steven,
This
right?
one.
Otherwise, it would just be
Yeah.
like an empty envelope.
Invisible.
Spin this wheel.
Okay, it is the hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and spin. I refreshed one last time. There we go. Congratulations, Shady Grady.
Congrats,
Happy
Mike.
birthday again. So let's make sure he is still here. He's been here the whole stream. It'd be crazy if he left in the last minute after he
It would.
I
after
mean,
he
unless they
entered
pulled out the
giveaway.
birthday cake or something like
But
that,
we'll
and then
make
I can
sure.
understand.
There he is.
You
There
won,
he is.
Mike.
Okay,
I
so
expect-
Shady Grady
I ex-
and Sandy Dowdy, make sure. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I expect to see that badge proudly displayed at the Clash in the fall.
Yes.
Jenna, would you like to share how if someone else wants to sponsor one of these giveaways?
Yes. So email us at hello@fishfam.link if you would like to sponsor a giveaway. We already have someone who contacted us about sponsoring for May. We also had someone else on panel who contacted us about sponsoring in June. So we have the next few months, but we are always looking for more sponsorships. I do also want to say thank you, Annette, for sponsoring. Thank you, Todd, so much for joining us in shopping. Thank you, Dee Dee, for being our co-host. Thank you, everyone who's watching, who watches on the replay. Does anyone have anything else to say before we go?
I think that covers
Nope.
it all.
Yeah, thanks. This was a ton of fun. I really appreciate the opportunity, guys.
Thank you so much.